Theus, did you hear somewhere about, or is this a thought that you came up with about, let's throw away both parties after this
So
election?
no, I haven't heard it from anywhere else, but I'm sure it's already out there. So I'll
Mhm.
elaborate just a touch. When I
Thank
say
you.
switch to independent, I'm saying that there's windows of time where people pay attention to things. And
Mm-hmm.
so on in November, all the attention is going to be on how the votes were done. Then in December, we'll still be in that fever slump. So I'm saying in December, everybody drop your party affiliation and just register as independent. Now, that does a couple of things. And I'm not saying just switch it and then switch it right back. No, I mean
Mm.
drop the parties, register as independent or non, whatever the term is for your state,
Right.
and stay there. You don't have to go having speeches. You don't have to do anything. Here's why I say you do this. And if
Mm-hmm.
you want to go and switch to a third party, that's up to you. But I personally, I'm saying just just turn it off, right? Because the way the two parties work is they poll their constituency groups.
Mm-hmm.
If they see that their constituency groups have dropped off significantly, because they've already been freaking out about it all year, about how fewer and fewer people identify according to party.
Right.
If you get to the point where you have a really small group that is saying that they're a Democrat and they're saying that they're a Republican, then that means you can no longer count on how they're going to vote. So you have to apply yourself more. You have to poll better. You have to
Mm-hmm.
try to woo people. So that's why I'm saying switch to independent, because one, it'll send a shockwave through the system. There are some downsides to this. If the parties don't respond quickly, which they won't, if the parties don't respond quickly, you can find yourself in the midterm. That's fine. Stay independent. You can vote Democratic because that's what you do, or you can vote Republican because that's what you do. But stay independent. The downside to that as a voter is you will be locked out of a lot of primaries, because if you are not party affiliated, you can't vote in primaries in various states. Like in Georgia, if you're not affiliated, you can't vote for judges and you can't vote for primaries because they also land on the primary ticket. And I'm saying at this point, that's fine, because this election showed me a lot of things. It showed me in no uncertain terms that the Democratic Party is not really invested in democracy any more than the Republican Party is. Because the Democratic Party suspended small d democratic processes in order to force Biden as our nominee. They played with the primary system. They froze out the field. They did all those things. And it's not the first time they did it with the Bernie election. They did it with the Hillary election. So we've watched this happen now. So I'm saying Republicans are worse, but as far as how they're playing the game, both parties play the game pretty similar. So let's shake that up. If not now, when? Right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
correction. If not after the election, when? Right now, you deal with declaring present danger. Declaring present danger is Donald Trump. But don't get it twisted. It's so Trump won't be able to run again after this. He'll be too old. But don't get it twisted. Just because we beat Trump this year, there will be a Trump version
Yeah.
in the next two election cycles, because that's what's been proven to be popular and financially advantageous. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to still go ahead and do our fighting. So that's why I'm saying you vote blue. I'm gonna say this just to irritate some of y'all out there. Vote blue no matter who this year. But if you don't want to vote blue no matter who, if you're like me and you're sick of always having to just vote for the Democrat because Republicans are scary, then we have to start doing something other than just complaining.
This is why
All right.
it really amazes me when I hear you say that, Georgia will lock you outside of being able to even claim preference for a party. Because
In Georgia, you have to claim.
in Washington State, we are all independent. That's just the way it legally is here. If you want, you can claim an allegiance to a party in a particular election, but that doesn't mean you have to stay with that party in other elections. And, well, we also have voting by mail and a lot of other things. We have really high voter turnout.
Remember, I live in the South. That's
I
number
know.
one.
I know. That's why it amazes me.